Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is gonna be a bit different than my other videos. This is kind of a health and wellness video. So like the title says, today's video is gonna be about me talking about how I healed my digestive system. So yeah, if you want to learn about how I ruined my digestive system and how I healed it again, yeah, stay tuned. So it started in 2019. This is how I actually ruined it. So it started in 2019 when I first tried keto. So yeah, I went to Switzerland for a vacation, and I was staying in a hotel. And I usually stay in Airbnb, but so I can cook and stuff. But this time I stayed in a hotel, and the hotel kind of served food, but I already knew by this time I really couldn't eat like a lot of bread and gluten. So I just kind of stuck to like protein, fruits, and a bit of fat actually, just protein and fruits and fat. I didn't really eat any bread because Switzerland is one of those countries, kind of like Italy, where there's like lots of carbs and bread and pasta and stuff like that. Kind of like the whole of Europe. So yeah, so I just did that, and in those few days that I was there, I like dropped like 6 pounds, and I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. Like I dropped so much weight, and not knowing I just pretty much dropped like water weight. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to the US. I'm gonna continue doing this. That was a huge mistake. First of all, the food in Europe is completely different to the food in America. Like it's grown differently. It's different, like pesticides and antibiotics, no antibiotics in foods in Europe. So yeah, completely different. So I shouldn't have done that. One thing I noticed when I did keto was I had a lot of like GI issues. So a lot of pain in my stomach, a lot of bloating, a lot of gas, a lot of constipation. Yeah, I know this is TMI, but this is just kind of telling you like what happened, you know, like how I kind of ruined my digestive system. And if you don't know, whenever you do keto or anything where you take out a food group, you're starving the bacteria that is used to eating that, and so they kind of die. So when you introduce the food back into your system, you can't really process it and digest it because the bacteria has not formed to eat that. So it was just a very painful, uncomfortable experience. Like it kind of really affected my quality of life because I couldn't like eat anything. Like honestly, like if I didn't eat just like protein or some fruit, even I would just get like a stomach ache, or I would get bloated, or just really uncomfortable. I can't be in bed just because of how uncomfortable it was. So that's kind of how I ruined my digestive system. I stopped keto like I think a few months after. I did that in 2019, but you know, I still had the lingering issues. So I was working on it, traveled back to Europe again, to England. And lo and behold, I was able to like eat more of the foods that I was used to eating. I was able to eat like bread, more cheese. So I stayed there for a while, and you know, my digestion was fine, but when I came back to the US, it was ruined again. So I actually started going to doctors to see like what's going on with my digestive system. They couldn't really tell me. So I guess fast forward till last year in 2021, I went on birth control because I had PMDD, and then my doctor told me, or the doctor I was seeing at that time told me, you know, oral birth control is like the only way to kind of manage the symptoms of PMDD. So I was like, okay, I wanted to do my own research. I did my research, and I wasn't really happy with what I saw. Like, there was a lot of side effects to birth control, weight gain, and all these types of issues. But because of the PMDD and the pressure and just the discord discord it had on my life and my relationship, you know, I just decided I'm just gonna do it, you know? So I did it, and you know, the year I was on birth control, I was only on birth control for 1 year, my digestive systems got worse. I was constantly bloated, constantly constipated. It was so like horrible. Like my quality of life was so disrupted. Like I would, even though everything else in my life was good, like, you know, work, family, everything else was good, the discomfort that I had from the side effects of the birth control made my life like really bad. So yeah, that's basically how I ruined it. And let me just tell you, if you didn't know, the estrogen in the birth control actually ruins your gut lining, and it slows down your digestive system. So you have those horrible symptoms. You develop some type of IBS or IBD. So yeah, I guess, suggestion, and I'm not a doctor or anything, but don't go on birth control. Like, if you can avoid it, just don't do it. Like, it will make your life hell. Find other ways to protect yourself from having children if you don't want to have children. But I don't recommend going on birth control. I was on it for a year. So yeah, that was how I ruined my digestive system. So here is how I fixed it. So as I mentioned, I had gone to so many doctors. I think I had gone to at least 5 or 6 different doctors, 2 to 3 GI doctors, 2 gyno doctors, 1 just like regular doctor. I went to a lot of doctors because of this issue. So yeah, the first thing that my new gyno told me to do when I told her about this was, she said, you know, you need to take more fiber. So try getting more fiber. So I was confused about that, because I was like, I didn't really pay attention to the macronutrients of like the fiber content of my food and like why it was important. So at first I started taking gummies, and that didn't work. So I just focused on getting all my fiber from my food. So I had smoothies like every day. I still do, vegetables with all my meals. Yeah, so that was the first thing, and I noticed like a big difference when I did that. It wasn't consistent in a way, like it didn't remove all my symptoms, but I did see a massive difference in like me being regular. So yeah, I really recommend, number 1, eating more fiber, making sure you're getting the recommended dose for you as a male or female. I think for women, I think it's at least 21 grams of fiber. So I don't count my fiber anymore, but I do try and get in as much plants in my food. I like eating salads. I like having a side of vegetables with my dinner. So like if I'm having pasta, I'll have like some asparagus or Brussels sprouts or mixed vegetables every day. So yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing was water. So during this time, like I said, I had gone to a lot of doctors, and there was a point in time where I was waiting to see a GI, but it was, I think, a few weeks in advance that I would be able to see them. But I was in agony, and I was just like, I just really want a doctor to tell me what to do. So I went to the urgent care doctor, one of the urgent cares in my area, and he told me to drink more water. And I was like, what, really? Is that it? And he was like, well, drink more water than you think you need to drink. So I was like, okay, I'll try. Because I told him everything that was going wrong with me. He was like, he seemed really confident. So I was like, okay. So I started deciding to drink a gallon of water a day. So this is the gallon of water I drink every single day. And the first week I did it, it was like magic. Like my symptoms went away like immediately. Like I was not bloated, I was not constipated, I was like regular, like almost 3 times a day. And it was like pretty amazing. I was like, oh my God, this is like a miracle. But unfortunately the effects didn't like last, and my symptoms came back the next week. So for 1 week it was like perfect, and then after it didn't work, it wasn't sustainable. So that to me meant that there was a bigger problem here that was affecting my digestive system, because if I'm eating a lot more fiber, drinking a gallon of water a day, that should really help those symptoms, but it wasn't eradicating it. So yeah, but I still drink a gallon of water a day, or try to. So the third thing I did was I took probiotics. So I had taken probiotics before. I'd actually had a GI doctor recommend that I take probiotics. He prescribed me probiotics that I bought at the drugstore. And he told me that after a month of taking it, I'd have to switch it out and buy something else. So I took it, and I got like here or there results. Like some days was good, some days was bad, some days it made it worse. So I just never thought never thought that probiotics would be a solution for me, because I had been hearing it for years. Like these issues that I've had have been going on for almost 3 years. So yeah, I mean, we're in 2023 right now. But yeah, it had gone all along 22, 21, 20. So yeah, 3.5 years. So it's been a long time, and I did a lot of research and went to a lot of doctors. And so, when they said probiotics, or I was just like, I did it and it didn't work. So it's I know it sounds weird being that this is a solution, but giving you some backstory of the type of probiotics I use. So I use the Cymbiotika probiotics. This is the best probiotics I've ever used, and this is the best brand of vitamins in general. So I found Cymbiotika on Brianna Stanko's channel, and he was on the show. The owner of the company, Sherveen, he was on her channel talking about how food is like medicine, and he was also talking, it just kind of resonated with me, all of the things he was saying. And he talks about like how, we as a society, we're decaying because of the food we're eating, because of how it's grown. We're not going outside. Like our minds are stunted because of stuck to like these technical advancements that are in fact like retarding us. And so I just kind of resonated with a lot of things he's saying. And then he was talking, and then there was a video about him talking about all his vitamins and how they help and what they do. And that all of his vitamins are food-based. So they're sourced really from all over the world with really clean ingredients. So, I had tried some of his vitamins after watching that video, but they're quite pricey. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna try some. I tried the glutathione, I tried his vitamin C, and they were all great. And I was like, okay, I'll definitely give his probiotics a go. And man, oh man, like the first night I used it, because you're supposed to take 3 at night, and I felt amazing the next day. Like I felt less bloated, I was regular, I could sleep better. And basically his probiotics are a combination of pro and prebiotics, and you need both in order to have in order for it to benefit your gut. So this has 19 strains of probiotics, and then there's L-glutamine, which is a vitamin, or I guess it's a vitamin or mineral that it is used to heal the gut lining. So that's really good. It has licorice, it has pomegranate, aloe vera, there's polysaccharides and oligosaccharides in that as well. And then the prebiotic formula as well. And prebiotics is what the probiotics eat. So that's why you need both of them. So yeah, I've been loving this. Like I take 3 a day, like I said, at night before bed. And I love it. And this is my 3rd bottle. And so the thing I would say is these are expensive, but I am happy to invest in something that actually works, regardless of how expensive it is, because if it improves my life and the quality of my life, then I'm happy to do it. So yeah, these cost $88, but obviously on his website there's like coupon codes, and then because I get this like auto refilled, I save like 25% every month on skintruth.com, so that's where I buy it. So yeah, these probiotics have saved my life, and I recommend it so much. Getting off of birth control. Yeah, like I said in the beginning, birth control, actually the estrogen, and it ruins your gut lining. It slows down your digestive system. So when you eat, it takes longer for you to digest food. So yeah, I got off of birth control, and I've been off of birth control for at least a month now, and I've totally seen a massive difference in my digestion. It's so much faster now. I'm regular multiple times a day.
Brian, we've hardly done anything together since we made that fiber commercial and had to use code words for pooping. Wow, Brian, I've never felt so regular.
Yes, you seem exceptionally active while maintaining proper body health.
That's right. Just 2 spoonfuls a day to stay regular and active.
More coffee, Stewie?
Yes, please.
I'm just like, life is different now without it. Like I feel like me again, because for a long time that I was in birth control, I didn't feel like myself. Like I was gaining weight, but obviously like you couldn't see it because for some reason, I guess the birth control disperses the weight evenly throughout your body. So when I'd go to my doctor and say like, why am I gaining weight? Even though I'm working out at least twice a day, I'd walk for an hour in the morning at like 7 a.m. Then I'd do some strength training. So I'd work out for like an hour and a half and then walk again for 30 minutes. And I was just not seeing any results. I wasn't gaining any muscle. I was just not seeing any results. So it was just strange. And I actually did talk to my doctor, and they were saying like, oh, well, the birth control pill has been noted to cause weight gain. Other forms have. And I had been explaining my own experience because she had been seeing me before I started taking it, and my weight was different. And obviously I had watched a lot of YouTube videos of a lot of women's experiences talking about it as well. So I knew that actually this is a thing. And, I think the medical industry does tend to gaslight women when they talk about their experiences. So yeah, I think as a person, as an adult, not just as an adult, like you're in control of your body, like it's your body. And if you feel like something's wrong and your doctor is telling you otherwise, do what's best for yourself, do what's best for the quality of your life. I'm not saying do things drastic, like take, medications and stuff that you don't know to be true, but get as much information as you can, and do a lot of research so that you're well informed when you do make decisions for your body. So in terms of managing the PMDD, the reason why I got on the birth control, there's actually a lot of supplements that you can take to manage the symptoms of PMDD and actually improve your life. So some of them are magnesium, B6, calcium, omega. So those are a few, and I take all of these right now. And then there's also supplements that actually created for PMS and PMDD, and this is the one I take. This is the Flow. I'm sure many people have heard of this one, but this is the Flow vitamins, and this has B6, chasteberry, lemon balm, angelica root, and these are all herbs, and B6 is obviously a vitamin that is used and is known to control the symptoms of PMS and PMDD. So sore breast, tender breast, cramps, bloating, mood swings. This really, really helps. So I recommend it. I take 2 every day after I work out, just because, and they smell really, really good. So they look like this, and they're like gummies. I already took 2 today. So yeah, I take 2 every single day. And when I've had 2 periods now, and this is like magic. So I was taking these during my period, and my cramps were like less. Like I didn't experience as painful cramps. Like before, when I used to have my period, I would take like a bottle of Advil per period. Like, and if I have my period for 5 days, I take a whole bottle of Advil, and that's horrible for your digestive system. Ibuprofen and then Tylenol is really bad for your liver. So yeah, I still take Tylenol, but not as much as I used to. So definitely recommend Flow vitamins because they're really good. These herbs are known to help, and they've been used for actually thousands of years. So yeah, take a look at it if you have PMDD and you don't want to take birth control, you don't want to take antidepressant or SSRIs. Just look into these because they're very good. So yeah, that's basically how I healed my gut. Also, actually just adding on to the PMDD, I also exercise every day. That's kind of like medicine for me. My body needs to exercise, especially for my mental health and just the whole thing. Exercise is so important. Eating healthy, not skipping meals. I don't do intermittent fasting because that's actually really bad for your hormonal balance and also your brain. I would say this because it gives me brain fog as well. And as a woman, like our hormones kind of can tend to rule us, and if we take out things that are supposed to help us balance it, like we're not going to have a very good, healthy life. So yeah, that's just my opinion. These are all my opinions, by the way, and my experiences, and I know other women have experienced and have these same opinions. So yeah, do what you need to do for yourself and consult your own doctor, but yeah, this is what works for me. So yeah, that's it. That's how I heal my digestive system. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I can tell you more about my experience, and I can direct you to some resources that, like medical resources that talk about the benefit of fiber and drinking water, and also how birth control can destroy your gut lining. So yeah, I'll leave those information in the description. Thank you so much for joining me today and watching till the end. If you have, you are amazing, and I hope you learned something, and I hope this has helped you. So yeah, comment below, tell me your experience, tell me how you healed your digestive system. Finally, I just want to say, listen to your gut. Funny enough, this is about it, but listen to your gut. listen to your body. It tells you what it needs. It tells you what is right and what is wrong. Be entwined with it. And yeah, good luck.